You ready? You ready?
Ready to roll.
Yes,
we ready, Fi.
Oh, boy.
Yes, sir.
We're back. We back, Cap. Golly, man.
God, cuz. We doing it, cuz.
We doing it, cuz. I'm talking about we got some major players on the winner's table.
Man, do we?
Major players, man.
Man, listen, man. It's a beautiful thing, man. And we brought somebody else with us, one of my comedian friends, CJ Hightower.
Yeah.
What's up, CJ? What's going on?
Man? Thanks for having me, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Representing that Jaguars, you feel me?
It's all good, man.
And guess who we got today?
Man, guess who we got
One
today?
of my favorite damn QBs.
Man, come on, man.
Mr. David Garrard.
David Garrard, y'all.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all.
Let me tell y'all about David, man.
I thought I was here for the comedy. I thought I was the comedy.
Well, come on, bring it in.
I ain't got but one joke.
Listen, man.
Actually, I ain't got no jokes.
Hey, man, you family.
got one joke. What is it?
Watching the Jags every Sunday. That's the joke.
Oh, God.
Oh, my God.
Ain't that unfortunate?
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Listen,
Boy.
I tell my brother and them all the time. I say, look, the Jags just ain't got it.
Man.
David, what you think about Trevor, man?
Trevor has it,
Okay.
but we got to get everybody else around him to have it too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can't be but so good by yourself out there.
Oh, man. Okay. Man, my phone here. I got to set this up.
Hey, man, don't worry about that. Man. Don't worry about that.
Okay, listen.
Don't worry about that.
So I argue with my brothers all the time about Trevor and the team.
Yeah.
I said, one man can't do it.
Nope.
One man can't do it.
And they thought he was the savior.
And he is, but like I said, this is football, man. If it was basketball,
Right.
different story. Because
Right.
you ain't but 5 guys out there. If you got one that dominates, then you can go a long ways with that.
Right.
But we got 52 guys out there, man, and 11 guys on the field. So he can't be out there by himself. He needs help. When you get some of the best out there, like take for instance Tom Brady.
Right.
He goes down to the Buccaneers where he got weapons all over the place.
All over the place.
Looks real good, So
Right.
he left the Patriots, in their down times, and it was because they didn't have all those weapons, and so he started greener pasture somewhere else.
Okay.
They set Brady up good everywhere. I don't know what Brady got on people, man. He must sprinkle some voodoo.
If he showed up here in Jacksonville, you would see a lot of other cats coming.
A championship damn team.
Because they know he got those skills, and guys know Trevor's gonna have it, but he's young.
Yeah.
So he ain't gonna have guys just come flocking.
Yeah.
And just like Stafford out there in L.A., OBJ was like, look, let me get out of here in Cleveland,
Right.
and go find somewhere where they win it, and they got a bunch of weapons for him. And just look how good guys look, man, when you got cats to throw to.
Oh, yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That was one of my questions to you as well.
Yeah.
If you can pick any 2 receivers, man, running back,
Yeah.
I'm telling anybody your choice. Who would you would have had on the Jaguar squad?
On the Jaguars from
Anyway, I'm talking about Miami. I know you was the Jets, Miami.
Yeah. Man, anybody. Honestly, I love the guys that I played with,
Right.
but we definitely needed some real difference makers, and you got to have those guys that are your key guys that. They know their role. They know what they got to do. They show up. They do what they do their thing. But you got to have guys that they just can't catch. The defense can't catch them. Right. Or, you know what I'm saying? Or they just make unbelievable plays. And there's not many of them out there, but there's enough,
enough. You got some guys that make some unbelievable plays.
Yeah, and so they got to do that this year for Trevor. He got that first year under his belt, got it out the way. It's time to load him up with some weapons. If this all season ain't just about him and loading him up, then I don't know what they're doing.
I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, but I'm a fan of you.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Listen, but hey, I loved you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
And the thing is, I thought when they got Trevor, man, he reminded me of Zelda.
Who?
Zelda.
Zelda the game?
The video game.
Zelda legend.
He was going to walk around and talk to people.
Come on, man. I didn't know what was going on, man. You know what I mean? But nevertheless, what the table means and what it stands for is people who winning.
Yeah.
Winning.
David, you've been winning for a long time.
Appreciate that.
Man, you got your starting role in 2007, correct?
Yep.
And you have been winning ever since.
Yeah.
Tell the people back home who want to play the game, want to play the sport as a quarterback, tell them what you went through and the struggles to get to that level.
Yeah, I mean, I got a 14-year-old right now, and I'm trying to teach him everything that I, grew up and, things that have been put on me. So I'm trying to give back to him and anybody else that'll listen, Right. So, I mean, you hear it all the time. It's hard work, and because that's true.
Right.
It's hard work in the classroom.
Right.
It's hard work when you're out with your friends not doing the wrong things.
Right.
It's hard work on the field. It's hard work training. It's hard work making sure you're eating right. It's a lot of things, and there's a lot of things that are out there to stop you, slow you down.
Right.
Take your eyes off the prize.
Right. And
if you don't want to be great, if you just think you're just going to go along for the ride, it ain't gonna work.
Okay.
So when I talk to young kids, I'm always talking to them about being great, and that's being great at everything.
Right.
Is your 14-year-old, are you training him to be a quarterback like you are? Is he proficient in some other?
When he came out the womb, I was training him to be a quarterback, and he decided on different things because he's 14, 6'2 and a half, 290, and he ain't gonna be throwing no ball.
Right.
Did
not be somewhere popping somebody.
He gonna be with his hand in the ground trying to hit the quarterback.
Right.
Or protect the quarterback. So they get paid too.
Right.
Right. But even that's still hard work because there's so many big guys out there.
Right.
How are you separating yourself? What are you doing to get better each day? And he's 14, so I don't try to, harp on him too much.
Right.
But just give him a little bit here and there. When I see somebody else struggling, or I see somebody else doing the right thing, I like to point those things out.
Right.
And you see it all the time, all year long. You see guys in college making mistakes or doing the right thing. Like I said, I don't try to just show all negative because then he'll stop listening to that stuff. So you show some of the positive things, some of the things where guys are winning in life, so that he can see the difference in both of them. So he can continue to grow as a young man and make his mistakes, but also see some wins coming around in his life as well too.
Right. So when he feels like, when you see him around the house and he seems like he slacking, he don't want to go
getting
to
lazy.
There you go.
Yeah, getting lazy. Yeah, I tried a lot of fire on him. I also know, because he's so big that you think, man, he seemed like he like 17, 18. So now he's 14, so he going to do 14-year-old stuff.
It's in the milk. It's in the McDonald's.
Hey.
They eat McDonald's. And
that's exactly what I would have been if I wasn't trying to play quarterback.
10 years old, Dad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Man. So my thing I always want to know is, what was you feeling the night your name got called in the draft?
Yeah, I mean, that was a big moment for me because...
Was it round 4?
Yeah, fourth rounder. I think about 6 or 8 picks into the fourth. So, back then, they did the first round. They did actually the first 3 rounds the first day, and then the fourth round would be the next day. So I'm thinking, I got a pretty good chance going in the third round, Baltimore had been talking, Jags, of course, and Chicago. All those teams were talking to me during the, the workouts and all that kind of stuff. So I'm looking at how we got into the third round and where everybody was kind of situated, and I knew they hadn't picked quarterbacks yet. So I thought, okay, here's an opportunity for Baltimore, who was coming up late in the third round, and I think Jacksonville was just a couple picks after them. And it was a crazy situation. They traded back. So I'm like, wow, okay, so Baltimore is now picking early in the fourth round. So, here's a chance for the Jags to, hopefully pick me up. And then they traded back. I was like, dang, what's going on here? What they trying to do? Trying to get a bargain deal? What they doing, man? So I didn't get picked on the first day, which was okay. I had a little barbecue, kind of like what everybody does, with their family and everything, their friends. And so woke up the next day, it's just me and wifey. She was, just my
Hopefully
girlfriend.
no pork on the grill, no pork, bro. I just played.
Not that night. That was the next day. I don't eat swine, but I eat pork though.
So not to cut you off, but not to cut him off, not to cut him off, but I'm gonna let you get back to the story.
Yeah.
But you said now wifey, but was girlfriend then.
Yeah.
So she was with you shooting in the gym.
Yeah, she was
Shooting in the gym.
You didn't meet wifey when you had the millions.
She was feeding me the rock.
Come on, man.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So we were, we had just got up and we knew to, kind of tune in for, round 4 for the second day and everything. And literally as soon as I turned the TV on, my phone rang. And it was Coughlin on the phone telling me they were making the pick coming up next, and I hadn't even wiped the sleep out my eye or anything. So I'm excited.
Tom Coughlin. That's 1,000 more questions.
Yeah. Yep. So at that time he was the best coach ever to me.
Real talk.
That was the next question. How was it to play for old Tom?
Yeah. That first year, which was my first year, his last year here in Jacksonville, that was eye opener. Oh, no. That was rough. I was not expecting any of that. I was not used to a coach that made you feel like you were in the military, on the field, in the locker room, walking down the hall, driving home. Like he was on you.
Right.
You better stay in that right lane and make sure you go this
Tom
speed.
will find your ass for anything.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it was some of the sillier ones where you had to wear socks with your flip-flops in meetings and stuff.
What?
Yeah, you couldn't be in there with your toes out now.
Dog on the toes.
I would have got fined.
Yeah, he wanted some socks on, man. I'm trying, and that was just one of the little things. So, somebody over your head like that on the field, you got, he just did not let anything slide, which is okay. I'm cool with that, but it's all about how you come at me when you're trying to, critique me.
I'm a man, first of all.
Yeah, so I got a prime example of that.
Right.
It's, OTAs, and we're practicing, and everything's new to me. So when you're young, you move a little bit slower because you're trying to figure out your own plays, but you're also trying to break down what the defense is doing. So you're just trying to get get a little rhythm. You think I was completing passes. I'm having a pretty decent day in practice and feeling good. But you couldn't tell that between what Coughlin was telling me behind me,
what?
Just barking that whole time. And it wasn't anything negative, like, hey, all right, get that out a little faster. Get that up a little higher. Everything. And to me, I feel like I'm dropping dimes out here.
Right.
But he kept critiquing me and was just on me. I finally had to stop and just say, I yelled, Coach, just leave me alone. Dang, I'm trying my best.
Oh, you just flipped out.
Give me a chance. Yeah, I did. And everybody out there was like, what the? Who?
Yeah.
Right.
He might want to pack his bags right now. I don't know how that. I don't know how that's going. I was like, but look, I was like, I can't take no more. You just on my shoulder, just chirping. And but you know what? He came to me after practice in the hallway. I was walking to get something to eat. I was like, he about to get on me right here. He gonna tell me it's time to go. Something. He's like, Dave, I'm just here trying to make you a better player. And if if you felt like I was trying to do something more than that, I wasn't. And I'm always going to have your back, but I'm going to always push for more. And I was like, I appreciate that, Coach. But you was just on me the whole practice. And he's like, that's because I care about you and I want to see you be great.
Right.
And so at that moment, I was like, okay. So you get a lot of barking, you get a lot of talk. But it's just to remind you that you can always be better and don't settle for you got a nice little completion here, a nice little pass there. First of all, we're in practice. There ain't 60,000 people out here watching you right now. Right. So he can see that I'm throwing the ball and getting it out of my hands a little bit later than what you would be comfortable with in a real game, because when Aaron Donald come around, he going to knock your block off if you still got that ball in your hand.
Right.
So he was just really... Because I hadn't even played in the game yet at this time, so I didn't know the speed of the game. I didn't know exactly, where he was coming from at first. But once some games started rolling around, then I realized, okay, now I see why he was getting on me. But at that moment, like I said, I had never had a coach just hound you, just stay on you. Like I said, he wasn't saying anything derogatory or, belittling me. He was just, after every play I had, there was something he had to say.
Right.
And that's just because I was a rookie. I wasn't, flying around on all cylinders. I wasn't, getting every read just right. So he was just like, look, let me just coach you up here. Right. Because the moment you get out there and you throw that first pick, and you don't rebound and bounce back from it, my little yelling out here in practice, it ain't nothing. And we ain't even had social media back then, so we ain't had to listen to what the fans had to say.
So I was going to ask you, it's the college game and the pro game. Which is the pace faster in college or pro?
No, pace, speed, hitting, everything faster, stronger, harder in the league.
Okay.
And when you come from high school to college, it's the same kind of transition. So you go from high school where you thought, man, they can't get no faster and bigger and stronger than this. Then you get in college, you like, dang, we got grown men out here playing.
Right.
And you go from college, they weren't grown men. They was just kids. Now we really got grown men out here playing.
Grown men.
Yeah, trying to feed the family, they in situations where I got to make these plays out here. And I don't care who on the other side trying to make plays on me. I got a kid that's, in the hospital that I'm trying to take care of or whatever, so it gets real when you get to the league. But I try to explain to a lot of people the speed of the game is because you don't know as much when you get to that next level, whatever it is. So high school and you get, to be a senior and you feel like you done mastered everything. You're doing pretty good. But then you get to college and you're a rookie all over again. You're like, dang, okay, so now I got to figure out the speed of this. I got to also know my plays because your plays is what slows down young guys. When they got to think about, okay, this play is I'm supposed to read this guy and this guy, you already beat. If you got to think about it, you already beat.
You lost.
Yeah. I saw when I was working for Keewaki Thomas that played, he had a playbook this thick.
Yeah.
Y'all playbooks is crazy.
They were real thick, man. And I when I first got to the league, I was like, why we got so many plays? We don't never run half of these plays.
You got the wristband plays.
Yeah,
you like this here.
You go into the game with about 60, 70 plays, but you got 300 plays in your playbook. It's like, what's because you just never know. And everybody run different defenses. And you never know which defense is going to correlate and work better with certain plays. So you got to practice, I'd say probably 80% of them. A lot of them are just kind of redundant plays. They called it a little different. Formations are a little different.
Right.
But, it's still something that each week it's a different offensive playbook for you because that defense is different than the defense it was before. So that's what slows down a lot of rookies and those kind of guys. They think about their own plays. And then they out here trying to think about what these grown men doing on the defensive side and the defenses that they're running. So they like, dang, I got first. And when you're a quarterback, you got to know what everybody else is doing on the offense. And if he line up wrong, that's on you as a quarterback. Right. You got to get everybody in position.
I be trying to argue with my brother now, especially my other God brother right there.
Yeah.
I be trying to tell them, look, man, the game is not rigged.
No, it definitely ain't rigged. Look, I'm glad you said that.
That was my question too.
Come on now.
It's funny that you said that because we were watching Super Bowl and there was a lady at the Super Bowl and she was like, I just be feeling like the game be rigged sometimes. And I'm like, okay, so look, you can rig tennis, you can rig basketball because you got refs out there that can make bad calls and just be like, whatever, But you can't rig 22 guys on the field and say, hey, I want y'all to make sure this play go through or make this big hit, cause him to fumble, get somebody to scoop it up and run it. Like, you can't rig that kind of stuff. You can rig maybe a bad call from a ref, but it's so glaring that it's you.
But you got to admit, it's been some suspect moments. Though.
There are
like what the year we almost went to the Super Bowl and They called a touchdown
Miles Jack.
back.
Miles
Right.
Jack was Miles Jack. Yeah,
my brother told me to ask you that question too.
Yeah.
He did.
I was like, WTF? Hey.
Well, you got human beings making calls. They always gonna make mistakes.
That wasn't no mistake.
But hey, look about what about the Saints
It was a mistake.
and what it was the Vikings, whoever it was that year, where he went over there and blew the dude up on the sideline before the ball got there, and then it was like, oh, there wasn't no foul. I mean, so you're gonna get one or two of those, especially in big games, because refs, they get nervous too. They tighten up. They want to let things go, because what do we hear after those games all the time?
Referees.
Why they didn't just let them play? Why the ref always got? But then when they don't make the call, you're like, well, see, he got to make that call. And a lot of them are easy because we watch it on TV, man. They rewind that thing 100 times. They slow it down for us. Them things on the game, man, that's bang, bang, bang. Now, so it's tough, because you got everybody looking at something.
You ain't tell me, because I already know.
I told y'all, cuz. I told my brother over here.
Yeah.
I done told a lot of y'all.
Football, you can't rig, man. Football, you can't rig.
Thank you.
Nah.
Y'all going to check that off.
Too many moving parts to try to rig football.
Exactly. Now, what you got to say, CJ? What you got to ask?
Hold on, ladies and gentlemen, CJ, the
Comedian
comedian.
CJ. Yes,
Hold
sir.
on, so before you do anything, CJ, tell me a joke. I want to hear a joke.
He told you to stay out the red.
No, this the red.
That red. Okay,
right.
Okay, I'll tell you a joke.
This the red, cuz.
Okay, my bad, cuz. I'm sorry.
You don't put me on the spot. Let me see.
Come on, CJ, tell me a joke, man.
I'm
Let's
tell
go.
you something real quick.
Okay.
I'm from Atlanta. And when I was born back in the 80s, it was just a misdemeanor.
Okay.
Now, if you're born in Atlanta, it's a felony. It's a felony now. That's why I moved down here. I moved to Jacksonville.
Moved to Jacksonville.
I got that off my record, for real, dog.
Yeah,
Like that.
How you doing today, my brother?
I'm doing good, man.
I like that shirt.
Hey,
that
man,
shirt.
I traded it in for the
I
city.
got some damn.
That's what's up.
I got some forces to go in.
That's what. That's what's up. So what you want to ask my main man?
What I want to ask you, David, was who was your biggest influence, and who took you on? Like, was there any type of ally that you had when you was a rookie going into the league? Who was the biggest person that kind of showed you the ropes and just kind of molded you?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Who was the biggest impact when you transitioned from college to the NFL?
I probably, I had two guys on the team. So Fred Taylor and Jimmy Smith, two of the biggest names in the league, Yeah, those guys really helped me out. They saw I had potential, and they were like, okay, we got a brother here. Let's see if we can, help push him along and make sure he's doing the right thing so he gives himself a chance, Right. And by giving himself a chance, he can give us a chance, because, Mark's getting a little older. So let's bring him up, the right way and showing me what it takes, in and out each day, in the locker room, off the field, on the field, those kind of things, making sure that, I'm not just doing just enough.
Okay.
Because just enough will get you cut real quick.
Because I seen some stuff like in movies like Any Given Sunday where rookies come in and some of the guys will kind of do the hazing or
you still get hazed.
Oh, you still get hazed.
You still get hazed. Now, see, hazing has evolved and changed over the years because some teams out there, not in the league, usually college, take it too far.
Oh,
get guys hurt, that kind of stuff. But you definitely want to introduce the guys into whatever level you're at, if it's college or the pros. So they do a lot of hair cutting.
Right, because that's been since I've been when I used to play football.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That ain't changed.
If you got people been on the team like 2 years before you, they was a junior, whatever.
Yeah.
Bro, you coming on the team, you finna get some kind of treatment.
Yeah.
They gonna break in your locker. They gonna do all kind of stupid.
Because you gotta humble the guys that are coming in. Like I said, usually they coming in from either high school to college or college to the pros. They think they the man.
Right.
And you want to humble them because you want them to be there as a part of the team and not think this is their team and they're the only thing that's making it go. Because they're not.
Yeah, keep them egos in check.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what it's for. That's what it all started, from, and usually that's the way it goes. So when I got to the Jacksonville, it was we're gonna shave their heads. They carrying all the vets' equipment on and off the field. You know, they getting coffee. They bringing in donuts. If we go out, if we go out to dinner as a unit, like say offense or maybe the skill players and the quarterback, you paying for it.
Oh,
you know, so if that bill gets to 30,000, you still paying for it.
Ain't that some shit?
Yeah, so you better have the money to pay for it.
have you ever experienced any racism in the NFL? Have you ever experienced any kind of prejudice moment?
For me, I haven't. Everywhere I've gone, even like I said in college, and we'd go play other places. I never heard anything from fans, that kind of stuff. You might hear stuff from the fans, but just like in general, coaches or anything like that, not really. I've had politics play a part in it. You guys have all witnessed that between Byron and myself.
Yeah.
But that's two
you
black
took over
quarterbacks.
in 2007, right?
Yeah. He was the starter. He came in the year after I did, so I got drafted in 2002. He came in 2003. And he was, marked to be the guy. When you get drafted in the first round, that's what happens. And for me, just persevering through that, and then I had an opportunity. My agent called me and said, "Hey, going into this offseason, if you want, I can ask the Jaguars to release you so you can go somewhere else and have a better chance to play." Because, if Byron starts playing well, he could be there for 10 years, and now you're just sitting there doing nothing, twiddling your thumbs. Mm-hmm. But for me at that time, it had already been about 2 years when my agent asked me that, and I was playing. I was still getting out on the field because Byron was, not always the most able body out there to stay healthy.
Right.
And so he was giving me opportunity, and I just kept thinking, you know what? Let me just stay here for a little longer because I've played every year, and hopefully I can get a little run together at some point where maybe another team does come in, they want to trade for me, or, maybe I can give myself an opportunity here because I loved it here. I love the weather, love the fans, the team. They, all the guys, like I said, with Jimmy and Fred, and then bringing in Maurice Jones-Drew, all those guys. I'm like, look, I'm happy right here.
Right.
I'm getting my shot. So I just stuck with it and just knew that, anytime my number was called, I needed to be ready.
Right.
I needed to be ready because if I just sat around just thinking,
ain't gonna play.
Yeah, I ain't gonna play. Mm-hmm. He good. I ain't worried about it. I'll just show up, be ready to hold the clipboard. Your number gonna get called at some point.
Right.
So you be ready. Better be ready to step in and make some plays.
And then another thing too. A lot of people don't know. I argue with people all the time on Facebook, and the reason why I'm saying this right now because I've been around the game. Like a lot of people don't know. I used to work for these boys. So just to let them know. It's a business at the end of the day. So what I'm getting at right now is the Kaepernick thing.
Yeah.
When he took a kneel, even though we know what he was kneeling for, this is business.
It is.
You can't come in and make your own demands on what you're going to do when these people are billionaires or the fans are paying millions and millions of dollars. I'm with them now. Don't get me wrong. I'm with them.
Yeah.
But I be trying to get people to understand that at the end of the day, he could have did that outside the stadium. Mm-hmm. Because it was a distraction of what they was thinking about. And that's why I'll be trying to break it down to a lot of people.
But that's like a hit. That's like a hit in the music.
So what you think? But I'm saying, I'm asking him.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's so teams don't like distractions.
Right.
Teams will get your head coach fired his first year before the season even over with.
Right.
Because he a distraction.
Okay.
They do not. Tim Tebow, who, I love Tim, great guy. But
we gonna get Tebow on
I'm trying to tell y'all.
Tebow, man, come to the winner's table, Tebow.
But normally, even when you're viewed as not being quite as good, but you're a winner, and he had all those intangibles.
Right.
Teams still didn't want to bring him in because he's still a distraction. Whether it be good or bad, still a distraction. Yep. And so. Yes, with Kaepernick, it was going to be tough for him to get back in the league because he's going to bring it's not I don't want to call them a circus, but it's a circus-like atmosphere.
Right.
Because they talking about all kinds of stuff other than football.
Other than football. Yeah.
So on another Kaepernick question, I watched the little thing he got on Netflix.
It was really good.
It was good.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet.
And he said
really
the
good.
league is ran like a slave plantation. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, you can look at it a lot of different ways. I don't know how many
these are
slaves.
not my words. I'm just quoting something that
I
he
don't know
said.
how many slaves have become 100 millionaires from what
It's just his perception because of what didn't go right for him.
Okay.
Well, think about your buddies, whatever level sports, if you made it to high school or college, if some of them were scorned or things didn't go right, they hate that university or they hate that coaching staff. So I'm sure he got a lot of disagreement with everything that went on because, he wanted to still keep playing. And his cause and what he was doing was a great cause. And what it was for, it was done in a way where most people were like, what is he doing? Yeah. And why is he doing it at this time? And then of course it became political, where it was about the flag, which was never about the flag.
It never was about the flag.
The time, so that he could make sure everybody saw it, because people were trying to say, "Well, go do it on your own time and do." But you ain't gonna get the same kind of looks. You ain't gonna get the same kind of eyeballs when you're doing it, at your own time in the community center.
Right.
They're not gonna see that.
Right.
So that's why he felt like it was
time to do
the
it.
perfect. And it was, because everybody was talking about it, even whether you hated it or liked it. Yeah. Everybody talked about it.
Right. Kaepernick was raising hell.
That's
he was.
Yeah. And that's why I say, man, I be trying to, because people think I'm slow, David. Okay.
Yeah.
I was in slow classes. Let it be known. Let it be known now.
Yeah.
I let it be known myself because I overcame it.
There you go. Love it.
And I'm right here with David Garrard. Give me some.
Watch this. I pushed the right button.
That's it.
Yeah.
I kept going. I kept going.
Now, let me ask you, David. Who was that one team or Pacific player, on your opponent, that when you see it on the calendar coming up, you like, oh man, I got to deal with this guy right here.
So the one team, the one player, and it was multiple guys on this team. But so you guys might remember Dwight Freeney.
Headhunter.
So Dwight Freeney went to Syracuse in college, and I went to East Carolina. And I think it was my sophomore year, because I played him for 3 years in college. We played him at home first, and my coach is like, they got this young defensive end. He's pretty good. So I want you to just make sure you keep your eyes on the swivel because he's coming. He's pretty good. And I'm thinking, but here, a freshman, and you telling me about this? I mean, he can't be that good. So our first game, we played him in Greenville, North Carolina. It was raining, and so he had no traction. He could not do anything.
Right.
Didn't even notice him. So I'm like, we good then. So the next year came around, we had Syracuse on the schedule again. We playing them up there. Okay, they play inside, on turf, makes you real fast. This dude hit me so many times, I was like, is anybody on them, y'all? We got down to the 3-yard line, and we're going to throw a quick slant. So that's just 3-step drop for me, get the ball out my hands.
Yeah.
Before I hit my third step, my shoulders exploded because he hit me right in the back.
Oh,
and we had the left tackle and a tight end blocking. And I'm like, what was y'all doing? I'm on the sideline. I'm giving it to him. And the coaches see me up in the booth. They call down, hey, can somebody get Dave? Because I see him losing it on the sideline.
So what do you tell your offensive lineman when they popping you back there?
Hey, man, look, I'm like, bro, what y'all doing, man? Are y'all blocking the guy that we talked about all week?
We talked about
all week. Who y'all blocking?
All week we done talked about this particular guy.
All week. And then
he is on my ass.
Hey, and then I get drafted to Jacksonville, and he right here in the same division. And I'm like,
God damn, he can't get out of his face.
Yeah, so now for the next 10 years, I got to deal with you.
Yeah.
And he brought it, and of course they got Peyton over there, so he don't ever want to let you come away with a win. in. He go all the way to the last minute. And I'm like, dang, man. I mean,
I call Payne Mr. Thumb. He look like a thumb. Look at that.
He do look like a thumb. Hey, he don't throw a pretty ball, but man, he make plays. And
that damn Payton.
Hey, he ain't running nowhere. You ain't got to worry about him taking off or nothing.
Right.
But he gonna make them throws, man.
Yeah. You couldn't put too much money against him because you're going half the time your ass gonna come up short.
He the audible king, man.
Audible king. Hey, did y'all know he run the same formation the whole game?
Yeah. Because they say Omaha how many times?
Yeah, it's the same formation. So if you just running the same formation, just different plays in it, you can be great at it. But you better make sure you hit when the throws are there and all that, because you run different formations to be creative, kind of throw the defense off. The defense, but what happens is the defense now is like, okay, we got to stay in one defense because if we try to mix it up, he gonna kill us. He only in one formation.
That was brilliant, though, to be.
Yeah.
It paid off.
Yeah.
So what you say about the quarterbacks that can't read defenses?
Man, then they better get some tutors or something.
That's crazy.
Because you ain't gonna make it.
Nah, unless you got amazing ability like Michael Vick. You know, he wasn't the best, and he'll tell you that when he came in the league. He's just going off just straight skills.
Yeah,
and he was great.
Backyard.
He was great when he. I mean, great.
Michael threw a sparrow ball.
Michael played like we used to play when we was kids. Hot ball. Michael played hot ball.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But he was just faster than everybody on the field.
No. Tackle loco.
That's
how Michael played. Like tackle loco.
Oh my God, crazy. And I love it. You know, I man, they used to tell me I had more teams than anybody.
That's like players.
These always
players on the team.
Been my boys, right?
Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
That's how I am with the NBA.
Right. Okay, see, there it is.
So I'm a LeBron fan now. So wherever he at, that's where I'm at.
You shouldn't have brought that up because I want people to understand something. Now it's only one GOAT, right?
It's only one GOAT.
Hold on, Fi. It's only one GOAT, Mr. David, ain't it?
You trying to talk about Michael Jordan?
You better know it.
There's no way any other player.
All Jordan shoes and be talking about LeBron as the king.
Who said that? Listen, man.
I love LeBron, but there's no way he can impact the league the way Jordan did. Because
come on, man.
I've never said that, Mr. Garrard. I've never said that. I don't know where he get that from.
And so I'm taking it more from just being on the court.
Right.
But I'm taking everything. Remember when they come out with the what was the Jordan VHS tapes where it was all his dunks and stuff?
Come on, man.
I got that.
Yeah, you got to play. I got them
fly
all.
with me.
Come fly with me.
Come on, man.
Playground. There's Come Fly With Me Playground, and then it's another one that just recently came out.
All I watched was Come Fly With Me.
Come Fly With Me.
That's all you needed.
That's it.
And you good.
When you got both teams cheering for you, come on, man, you the greatest.
When all the people on the court that you playing with, is
come on, let's looking at you go by.
Mr. Jordan, all that. I mean,
but I don't know where he get the LeBron because I choose Kobe over LeBron.
Because Kobe is the modern day Michael Jordan.
R.I.P. Kobe.
Yeah. So my thing was when I always tell them my argument with that as well is the fact that they say today's game is harder than Michael Jordan time. And that's a lie. Michael Jordan, he faced it greats on every team.
They fought.
And they were more physical, too.
And they were more physical.
You can't even hand check no
You can't even. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You got
he
busted in the face.
45 and 50 with, extreme defenses.
Right.
Where you go up to the basket where they were calling like, all right, we got the Jordan defense. I mean, we got to come in aggressively hitting you.
Come on. Right. They hit you in the face and broke your nose and tripped you and did everything.
You can't even hand check at all. You can't even put your hand on the player now.
Come on, man.
So I figure there's no way that these players in the NBA
couldn't
now, they couldn't survive.
And
they had to play
Jordan
Isaiah Thomas and Dennis Rodman and
Detroit.
Brian probably still be all right.
He'll be all right, but he cried too much. He fall on the ground.
He just big.
Come on, man.
Yeah, he.
I seen Kobe destroy LeBron one-on-one.
That's it.
Yeah.
Come on, man. Like, so never enough about that. Cause it just makes we already cleared that up. So we all done heard that. Now we done cleared this up.
Right. We cleared a couple of myths up. The game is not rigged.
The game is not rigged.
And the NBA is soft.
And the NBA game is soft.
Right. Okay. You hear me?
Now, David, you are a winner. You divided. I mean, you done came from nothing to something. You went from Pont Warner football, high school, college, and you made it to the NFL. The greatest. People always. So what you tell these young people that's getting drafted, what to do with their money when they get it? Because we all know when you get that first check, what that's supposed to be about. Now.
You spend it on something. So I mean, and look, you don't do all this work to get your money and then put it on a rock somewhere. So you still want to enjoy it,
right?
But you got to be smart about it. I mean, there's too many examples of guys just. So it's tough when you come from nothing and you finally got some money. You're like, oh, I can go spend this a little bit, and then it comes at you often and a lot. And you're like, well, I can go spend a little bit more and I can help this person. A lot of times the helping gets guys in trouble. And it's okay to help, but you just got to be smart about it. So you got to have an advisor, financial advisor that is helping you budget, is helping you make sure if you are going to help somebody that you're doing it the right way. You're not, stretching yourself too thin. My agent told me one time, he said, it's great to help people, but you don't want to help them so much that you're going to eventually need help.
Right.
You can't help somebody if now you need help.
Man, who you gonna call?
You ain't calling nobody. Ain't nobody paying like the league paying. So you better stay in there as long as you can. You just got to be smart, man. And I used to help young guys that came into the league all the time. I would just say, you make sure you find a good budget and try your best to stick to it. It's okay if you buy a nice thing here and there, but you can't be out every weekend and then get to the off season when you don't get paid no more and still be balling on no budget.
Budget.
I mean, there's an example of a guy I played with. He had $16,000 left before the season started. And he was a young guy.
God,
but a month before the season started, he went and bought a $16,000 motorcycle. And
with the last 16.
The last 16.
The last 16.
His agent's like, what we got to do now?
His agent handed him the walking papers because he ain't got no more money.
His agent still need.
Well, you give him a bridge loan, so as long as he's still playing, he can get a loan. So, but you don't want to be taking out loans when you just sign. Even if you got league minimum, when I played, it was $210,000. That's still enough money to survive through a year, and put some away. But they just young, man. Just imagine being 20. 21 and getting a lot of money. It's, when you think about it, you see why a lot of it happens. But these advisors, these financial advisors, they got to be better. I even think the league, and I think now the league is doing it where they're paying guys over the whole year and not just 17 weeks or when I played 17 weeks. Because you get I lived next door to a guy that worked for Wells Fargo back in the day. And he was an older white guy. And he was asking me, he's like, Dave, how does the league pay you guys? I said, well, we get paid over 17 weeks that we play. He's like, so you get all that money in 17 weeks? What do you do with the rest of the year? And you better budget
careful.
it. Yeah. Well, how you just tell somebody at 21, hey, you got to be careful now.
Yeah.
You ain't got no more checks coming in, so you got to be smart.
Yeah.
But
crazy.
if you get paid like normal people get paid, every 2 weeks throughout the whole year, at least now you don't see them big lump checks come in and you're like, I got $100,000 right here. I can go buy whatever I want. That $100,000 got to, spread out over the year. Yeah. So, and my neighbor was like, there's no way I could do that now at 55, let alone at 25.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there's definitely some things that could be better, but guys also got to know, you're not dumb. You know when money comes in, if too much is going out, you ain't going to make it very long. Right. But, it's tough, man. It's a tough break, but it's still there. The opportunity is still there, and they have the opportunity. You just got to be smarter with it.
Got to be smart, Joe.
It's got to be smart, y'all. So another thing, too, is like, what do you tell us inspiring? I'm a comedian, he a comedian, and he's an actor, and he sings and does everything. And this
you better have good jokes.
You better know it. But what I'm saying is,
Your timing better be good too.
Yeah. So, but at the end of the day, I'm saying like on a perspective of, we trying to get to that next
Hustling.
level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hustle.
I work a 9 to 5. I got 2 jobs.
Yep.
Plus this is my thing and comedy. But nevertheless, I can't stand getting up in the morning till 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I can't. It does something to me every single morning. I'm like, I got nice things, but at the end of the day, that's not what I'm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what do you tell people like us who is inspired? She's a fashion designer. She does her thing. Her and her partner, they getting ready to do their thing. So
I wish I could see these beautiful ladies.
And so what do you tell people like us, man, who just don't want to get up? But we got to.
You got to. It's that's your hustle right there. Your hustle is to. So I have a business partner. He's like, Dave, what's your why? We're building homes and things. He's like, what's your why in doing this? Which is a great question. What's your why? Your why is basically to get out of these 9 to 5s and do what you love.
Yes, sir.
And usually that's what most people think is to do what they love, because what do they say? If you have a job that you love, you don't really have a job.
Right.
And I'm with you. Going to an office or something like that as a 9 to 5, man, no, I'm good. But that's your thing. You got to have something that wakes you up and gets you out of the bed, even if you got to have some delayed gratification. Yeah. I learned that right there in college. I was doing whatever, and my coach just kept telling me, Dave, you got to have delayed gratification. And I'm like, oh, what is that? It's not going to happen right now, but it's coming. Right. But you got to keep putting in the work to get that delayed gratification. It's coming, but you just got to keep putting that work in until it finally hits. Because there's so many of those little posters out there that those inspiration posters where I know you all have seen it, where it's somebody hacking away for diamonds, right? Mm-hmm. And they right there, and they like, man, I ain't gonna find nothing. And if you see the big picture, the diamonds is like 2 inches away, but they quit.
Right there. Then somebody come right back
and get the diamond.
Yeah, somebody gonna come find that spot. Hey, you did all that work and made it a little easier for me. Maybe I just got to go a few more feet, but so that's why you got to stick in there and keep working, because what else you gonna do? You just gonna settle? No.
I refuse.
Don't settle.
I refuse.
The greatest out there. I mean, we got Bezos flying people into space. He ain't settled. Mm-mm. I mean, I don't know if y'all seen how many times those rockets blew up trying to land back, on Earth. He's like, we got to be better. Yeah. And you got to learn from your mistakes. Right. Because your mistakes, they're going to happen. But that's what's teaching you to be better. When you're designing clothes, sometimes you design something, you think, man, this is fire right here. Not one of them move. And then you got to figure out what was wrong with it. What do I have to do to make this what I thought was fire, but apparently nobody. That's why they say you got to leave your taste in your mouth.
Leave your taste in your mouth, man. I love that. Yeah. I love that right there. So leave your taste in your mouth.
So the last thing I want to ask you is, now you're done with football. What are you doing now? What is David Garrard doing now to enjoy life and the things that you're doing with the kids and different things of that nature? Go ahead and let the people know what you're doing now.
Well, I mean, really, my main thing is raising my family and raising them right, getting my kids, making sure they're productive people in society and getting the schoolwork and all those different things done right. Like I said, I've got some business partners, and we're doing some construction of homes in North Carolina, and so I'm a little bit a part of that, and so that kind of gives me a little bit of focus too. But man, just my family, that's how it's always been. My parents, my mom passed away when I was 16 from breast cancer, so I was just young when that happened. My dad wasn't really around. He came around when she got sick, but he still wasn't quite around, and he passed shortly after that just with bad health. And so I've just been, trying to, when I was playing, help my family. I got 2 brothers and a sister as much as I could, and then got married, and now I got 3 kids. And so, a lot of that family life I didn't have once I got to be a teenager. And so I'm just trying to keep that straight. So, you know, everybody in my household has an opportunity. I got 2 girls, you know, if they want to get into whatever they want to get into, going to school, and they like fashion, of course. They like hair and all that, you know. So just making sure that I keep them, you know, on the right path. And I got a son who's 14. He's not going to be a quarterback, 6'2", 290. That's hard to play quarterback at that size.
That's linebacker.
Yeah.
Linebacker.
You know, so, but, you know, trying to keep him straight in this world, and, you know, where everything's always pulling at you, trying to, you know, send you in the wrong direction. I mean, everything is nowadays.
Right.
So, you know, that's my focus, man. And I've had opportunities where schools or universities, high schools, you know, want you to come and coach and do that kind of stuff. But when you invest yourself in, you know, coaching, I mean, that's a all day, every day kind of thing. And people don't realize that. I mean, NFL coaches, man, they still are going in over there right now. No player in the locker room, nobody at the stadium. They still showing up at 5:30, 6 o'clock. And you think, okay, they get in and leaving kind of early, right? Maybe around 2. Nah.
All day.
They still there till 8:30 at night.
Wow.
All they young kids is already going to bed when they get home. Man, and it's the offseason. Ain't nothing going on.
Nothing going on.
So I
wonder why them cars be over there.
Yeah. What y'all doing? Just in there watching film. I'm good. That's like a 9 to 5 to me.
Yeah. And, you know, to top of that off, I go back to what you said, how you lost both of your parents. And I hear people all the time. I lost my dad when I was 12.
Yeah.
And it kept me motivated. When a lot of people use that as an excuse to act out.
Yeah.
Look at you now, man.
Yeah.
Both of your parents, and you're an NFL legend.
Yeah.
What did you say about that?
Well, my mom, who, you know, was a single mom, you know, doing everything. She was a nurse and was just the sweetest lady, just trying to take care of her kids and take care of all these people in the hospital, you know, and just seeing that and knowing the kind of person she was just motivated me to, when she did pass, to not want to fail for her, you know, because she was my biggest fan, you know, when she was alive and coming to all my games and supporting me and trying to raise a young man in the house. And, you know, so that really was a lot of my motivation. And I loved football. I love sports. I love playing basketball too. So I didn't want to mess up the opportunity to play sports. But then I realized in high school that I might be okay and that I might get a chance to go play in college. So I was like, well, that's just more time to keep playing a sport that I love, you know?
Right.
So that turned into my motivation to not want to mess anything up, you know, because man, there's so many kids that went to my high school that started dropping out. They wanted to start selling drugs. They wanted to just be with the ladies. They wanted to just do whatever it was other than the right thing, staying in school, listening, paying attention. And I wasn't perfect, you know, but I knew that there was something bigger and better for me than just what was my surroundings at that time. So I just wanted to make sure I gave myself an opportunity, man. And that was it. And then I started going on visits to college, and I was like, yo, this is nice. You know, seeing dorms, seeing all these things I'd never seen. But I mean, we hardly did much growing up. Right. You know, if I wasn't playing out in the streets with my friends, then there wasn't no amazing vacations going on. So I wasn't really seeing the world. And I was a kid that wanted to do more than just, like I said, do what was just around me. Right. And that was either sell drugs or you could go get a job, but it's going to be some kind of 9 to 5 job where you ain't go. I knew I wouldn't be happy doing it, you know? So I just wanted to give myself an opportunity, man. And football was that much to me that I didn't want to mess it up.
All right.
Do you still eat ramen noodles?
You know what? Now that my kids have found it, it's back. It's back.
It's back in your.
Hey, I took a break from ramen noodles.
Yeah,
I ate plenty of them growing up.
Hey, what did it feel like to be? Are you play any PlayStation or anything like that?
Yeah.
How did it feel to
Playing
be
yourself.
on Madden?
Yeah.
How did it feel to be on the Madden game?
You know, I played that quite a bit, but the best part about it is when another kid comes around and is like, "Oh, you're David Garrard? Man, I used to sub Byron out all the time and put you in quarterback." Okay. And then you got kids now that's the only way they can see a lot of the old stuff is to
Did they have your ratings right?
I don't even.
I think I did too, but he really did
ratings back then.
He used to always beat me. He used to always beat me on the game.
Because you was faster than Brian Leftwich.
Yeah. I take it. Long as I'm in.
That's when you know you done made it, man, when you on a Madden game.
Yeah.
So how did you feel when Madden left here, man?
Man, you know what? There's those analysts out there that you just, when you hear their voice, you know what time it is.
Right.
Yeah.
And he was one of them. I mean, growing up, all the best games, you know, it seemed like he was covering. And, you know, that was sad. It just also tells you that you're getting older, you know, because a lot of the guys in your youth that aren't around anymore, you're like, dang, he was old when I was playing, but when I was young, but man, now he ain't even here no more. Right. So you just know ain't nothing slowing down for you, man.
Nothing slowing down.
Nothing slowing down for you.
Yeah, man.
You know.
Oh, man.
That's why you got to stay on that grind so you can do what you love.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's right.
Man, and listen, man, it's been an awesome show, man. I was up all night just like thinking of the things to say to you, man, because, you know, you just so genuine, man. Like,
I appreciate that.
When I met you, man, it was all love, and we seen each other here and there when I was working for them boys. But you know, when I ran into you that day, man, and you was like, "I'm there."
Yeah.
And I just appreciate it because what you're doing, you're not only helping me, but you're helping a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And man, I appreciate it like never before.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Give it up for David Garrard.
Hold up, before you go, my cousin, his brother, D'Angelo says, "What's happening?"
Okay,
there it is.
He'll get on me if I didn't tell him
him I said, "What's up?"
Oh yeah, and Buddy, my little brother Buddy.
Yeah.
He's a diehard, man. We be in the games, and it better not be another team, the opposite team.
He giving it to him.
Listen, I almost had to leave. I said, I got scared of my little brother.
Fight. He be
I got scared.
Everybody.
I said, he was like, "Look, kid, you ain't number 5 years old. Sit down." I said, "Bro, he 5 years old." Man, I almost had to get up out of there, man. Yeah, my brother died
There's
hard.
some diehards out there, man.
He that person.
Yeah.
He that person. And I want to, before I get out of here, also just give a shout out to all my family. My family who came out to support me. These are my supporters. Steve Thomas, he's a comedian, and Lim, a childhood friend, man.
Shout out to Steve.
He owned his own trucking company.
Okay.
Ain't that something?
That is. That's
young, man.
That's good.
And his name is Lim, and I love him, man. He always supported me like never before. And then my sister, you know, she's the truth with that fashion. You see her.
Shout out to Sis.
You know what I'm saying?
Sis got on leather, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? Miss Miko, you know.
She's
and
sharp now.
I had to abbreviate your name because her name is kind of hard to pronounce. So I just called her Miko. Yeah. And then, you know, Dre over here, man, he's an actor. And he does so much. He sang and everything. He do a lot for the community. Mm-hmm. He has his little kids, his thing he got going as well. But I love him because he supports me like never before. So I wanted to definitely give him a shout out. And this is my sister's friend. What's your name again? Melissa, and they thinking about doing a podcast, so they wanted to see how I was doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then my main man,
we got
CJ.
my man CJ. Take us out with a joke.
CJ,
we gonna throw him on the spot.
And then CJ, but people didn't know, CJ owned his own candy store in the Avenues Mall. So if you ever went to the Avenues Mall and you see that big old candy slot, that's him.
That's him. Okay.
He owns that. So I had to bring him. Yeah, so I had to bring him on.
Well, you know I got kids, so you know they done been there.
You already know they done been there. So that's him. So go ahead and close it out, CJ.
Hey, man, it was just an honor to meet you.
Yeah,
I heard so much great things from you from Tony D. I appreciate you, Tony D, having me on here. Appreciate this whole moment, man. And just all the things that you did for the community and the things that you're going to continue to do, man. And I'm just glad to be in this moment. And, hey, what else can I say,
before
man?
you go, you got like a foundation, don't you?
Yeah, David Garrard Foundation.
Okay, that's important. We need to mention the foundation.
You got to do the foundation.
Yeah.
You feel me? And then, last but not least, you got to sign the helmet.
The winner's table, man, where we win and I still eat ramen noodles.
Yeah, that's all we do is win.
That's all we do is
Ramen
win.
noodles.
Y'all heard? Y'all heard it now.
Hey, the ramen noodles is good, man.
Come on,
I
man.
love ramen
I like the
noodles.
chicken.
Yeah, spicy.
I like the
Spicy.
chicken. Look at that. That's
Oh,
all.
yeah,
The
that's
spicy kind.
Hey, when I was growing up, we go in the in the cabinets and
Hold
throw
on,
about 30
right.
different seasonings in there.
Come on.
Spice it up even more. We chop up chicken, put it in the microwave,
Right.
throw that in there. It was like a gourmet meal.
Come on now.
Come on. Hey,
Our own
hey.
Chinese food?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
My blood pressure was bad, so I can only use a half a pack. Half a pack. Right.
And I got to give a shout out to my sponsor, CLT Cut Lines and
Shout out
Trims.
to CL Mixed Master
That's
CLT
my God brother, man.
in the
He
building.
cut so good, man. He put designs in people's heads and everything. He also can make your tape up too. So if you ain't got a tape up,
He can spray you
he
one.
can spray you real good, and you'll look like a leather garbage bag.
Is that where you go get your cuts at?
You feel me? I done learned how to let mine go. I ain't into now.
I've been let mine go.
Yeah, that's why I got this hat on.
Hey, me too. I'm on the verge.
You feel me? Gotta let it go, David.
I'm hanging on though.
Don't look like them people on Tyler Perry movies.
Hanging on like a loose
Let
tooth.
it go. Let it go.
Everybody looking like a trash bag.
Fine, we did it again.
Thank you, Mr. Garrard, for
Absolutely.
coming out. Thank
No
you, Mr.
problem.
CJ,
This is the winner's
comedian,
table,
my
y'all.
brother. The winner's table, Tony D,
Good
my
times.
cousin, I love you.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the fellas, the ladies, man. We out of here. Thank
outta
you for
here.
tuning in, man.
Low, low.
Love.